Yes, as Donald Trump prepares to return to White House, a shift in U.S. foreign policy is imminent. While his approach to Africa has often been unconventional and unpredictable, a new Trump administration could bring potential dangers for African nations. Donald Trump is well known for his preference for direct transactional politics over traditional policy, where previous administrations used multilateral approaches. Trump opts for deals and quick wins. His Trump doctrine focuses on aligning with American allies in the Middle East like Egypt, Saudi Arabia, and Israel, which has had a domino effect on African countries caught between Western Chinese and Middle Eastern influences. Trump's earlier tenure led to a retreat from peacekeeping support in Africa. The once robust US-backed African peace and security frameworks started to fade under Trump, with no new AU or UN peacekeeping missions authorized since. Without US support, several African nations have been forced to fend for themselves against conflicts, and the Biden administration did little to reverse this trend. Trump's African policy often reflects a result-first strategy. In his previous administration, he fostered relationships with leaders more open to private deals rather than multilateral agreements. Trump's interventions, such as his involvement in Sudan's economic and political challenges, often meant securing quick, impactful deals, but without a long-term view. Ethiopia's Grand Renaissance Dam has been a source of tension, especially with Egypt under Trump. The U.S. mediated talks but earned heavily in Egypt's favor. His provocative approach, suggesting Egypt might blow up the dam, left Ethiopia feeling isolated. This complex mix of alliances among Ethiopia, Egypt, and Middle Eastern players like the UAE continues to impact the Horn of Africa. The stakes are high as Trump's re-entry could reignite these regional tensions. Sudan's ongoing conflict is devastating, with the potential to wider regional impacts. Trump's close ties with power brokers like UAE and Egypt add to the complex if he is willing. Trump might broker deals in Sudan, though risks of igniting further conflicts loom large. A Trump-led U.S. might enable Sudanese factions to negotiate a deal. However, this is likely to be a liberal peace approach focused more on power sharing than democratic processes. With Russia's Wagner Group and China's strategic economic investments, African nations are caught in a growing tug of war. Trump's relationships with Putin and his hard stance on China might shape Africa's alliance. Trump's re-election could lead African leaders to align or distance themselves for these major powers, depending on their interest in the region, stability, and trade. West Africa, the center of jihadists, insurgencies, and frequent coups, faces its own challenges. If Trump returns to viewing U.S. foreign policy through a security-first lens, it is likely to help pressure regional leaders to counter both terrorist threats and Russian influences. Whether the U.S. depends or scales back its military involvement is unclear, but Trump's interest in negotiating directly with power holders could mean more localized and forceful approaches to counter-terrorism. Trump's return to office has the potential to reshape Africa's geopolitical landscape for better or worse. His transitional styles will open new paths for some African nations, but may add new pressure for others. Stay tuned to this channel for continued coverage or insights.